Maybe you've been lucky enough in the midst of this pandemic. Maybe you lost your job, but you've been able to fall back on relatives during the pandemic to help you find work, maybe even at the family business. But you know, that can open kind of a can of worms, can't it? If you're trying to navigate that right now, we've got someone who can help out with that. Angela Civitella is a business coach leader. Good morning to you. It's all about setting personal boundaries, isn't it really?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. It absolutely is about boundaries. It's all about boundaries when it comes to family. It's about boundaries within the home, and it's about boundaries within the workplace as well.
So let's talk about that because, you know, one of the tips that you say is, you know what, have your family time, but when you're at work, focus on work. But that can be really tough, especially, you know, if you've had issues within the family that have been brewing. A lot of times they don't, you know, surface until, say, Thanksgiving. But how do you keep that separate? How can you be diligent about keeping it separated?
Well, one way to navigate that is to make sure that within the workplace, families don't cluster together. So putting a family member with another family member in the same department, probably not a good idea. Spread them out, even the playing field, mix it up with family and non-family workers. That usually ends up keeping whatever personal differences there are to a minimum, and you kind of put the work ethic at the forefront of what it is that you're there for.
If a family issue comes up at the office, is it fair to say, time out, let's not talk about this, let's talk about this at home? I mean, do you literally have to draw that literal of a line in the sand?
Absolutely. You do not berate or get into anything personal in front of non-family workers. If you can't take it outside, you make sure you call a hard time out and say, well, take this up at the end of the day or off-site. Absolutely.
You know, and speaking of a hard time out, if the family business isn't for you, that's okay, right? It's okay to accept that.
You know, it's not for everyone. You know, it's wonderful to want to be a part of a family business and work with family, but sometimes it's not for you. And, you know, you need to be able to explain it clearly and explain the differences and understand that it's okay to have them and to allow you to be able to explore other opportunities out there that's a better fit for you.
Yeah, so that at Thanksgiving, you are still civil with whomever your family members are. Angela Civitella, thank you so much for your advice this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
You